Ships ahoy! I'm here at Biscayne Bay for Be My Guest Events at Sea. I am going to find out what's their story behind this competitive business and unique location for any event. I can't wait to speak with the owners and find out what it takes to be in this business. I'll find out what's their inspiration and exactly what is their story. The United States of America, a land made up of 50 states filled with millions of people, most trying to get by. But there's a growing group of people that want more. They want the chance to show the world what they bring to the table. These people believe that if you work hard and have enough determination, you could realize a dream, the dream of owning their own business. But how do you go from dream to reality? What motivates these people to want to work the hardest that they will ever work in their life? What's the story behind that dream? So I'm with the owner, Vanessa Gonzalez, for Be My Guest Events at Sea. Vanessa, it's such a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks, me too.
So tell me a little bit about your story, right? So we wanted to know, you started this business this year. So you're new on the block.
Yep.
What was your inspiration to choose this type of business?
Well, you know, growing up, born and raised in Miami, I have an affinity for the water and I just love boating. I absolutely adore it. And my husband actually is a boat captain.
Okay.
And so I married right into it. And so, you know, we of course got married on a boat.
Nice.
And it was just such a beautiful, beautiful event. And I just felt like it was the first time I had ever been on a boat for an event. It was the first time my guests had ever been on a boat for an event. And so I said, why aren't more people doing this? You know, so I said, you know what? I think I'm going to get into this and show people the beauty of the water and being able to host your events, anything from your high school graduation to your big wedding day, you know, and have it on one of these gorgeous yachts.
Wonderful, because the sea is such a backdrop that it changes, right?
Yes.
So I can start off with this setting, but as I go out, it changes. And people are looking for unique venues these days for this event. How easy or how hard was it to get started?
Well, I would say it was both. Easy for me because I'm a very motivated and determined person. That comes easily to me. And so just because I come to a challenge doesn't mean that I'm going to stop anytime soon.
Right.
But difficult in that I'm not the only person who invented this idea, right? So there is, you know, competition. But what I like to think that I bring to the table is that unique aspect of my network of vendors. I work with some incredible people, as you can see from the
It's beautiful.
items on this table from Tina Lina Creations, and I myself am a day of coordinator, as well as an officiant. So I can provide lots of additional services. That way, you as the guest, essentially, once you come to me, it's a one-stop shop.
When I do book you, what do you take care of?
So basically, depending on the yacht and the package that you choose, you can get for the most part, every single yacht will include freshly prepared, delicious full course meal on board. So nothing frozen, heated in a microwave, brought into the boat. No, everything is cooked right downstairs.
Wonderful.
And depending on the boat, that'll change. And so that is guaranteed. Then you have your amazing bar. You can have a soda bar, you can have beer and wine, you can have your full premium bar. Then the additional things are things like a DJ.
Right.
Your draping. If let's say you say, I want this to look like a draped wonderland, we'll just go ahead and drape the whole dining room for you. I mentioned the DJ, which also acts as your MC for your ceremony and your cocktail hour, your first dance, all of that. And then your day of coordinator. So I go with you on your big day to make sure that everything that we have been preparing for up until that moment is exactly the way you envisioned it. So that you don't kind of show up and say, hey, that wasn't what I wanted. Right? So I'm kind of your liaison on the boat to make sure that just everything goes smooth.
What would you say then are 3 key factors to starting a business? If anyone was interested in getting into this, what would you say as a business owner? What would be a key factor?
I would say drive, never giving up, because you will always find a reason to not do it. And so it's making sure that you always can find the reason to do it and reminding yourself of why you started to begin with. So drive and motivation, because I feel like those two things go together. And then your unique factor. What is it that you bring to the table that makes you unique? Because, in this world, if you've thought about it, someone else probably has already thought about it too, right?
That's right.
So you gotta think about how what you're bringing to the table is gonna give you that edge over others.
Particular event that you coordinated that just stands out in your mind?
Actually, it was a same-sex marriage, 2 young men, and it was just beautiful. I mean, they kind of really went for a non-traditional type of format. They decided to just have everybody kind of get their food from the dining deck and go upstairs and just dance the whole, their whole 4-hour charter. So that one was really fun, just because it didn't fit kind of the mold of the usual timeline that you see with a wedding.
And there are different locations that I can choose to have my venue. So normally the ceremony, if it is a wedding, is on deck. Tell me a little bit about that.
So the nice thing about the ceremony is that you have that incredible backdrop, right? So it's on the top deck for most of the yachts. Some yachts are partially covered. This yacht that we're on right now is completely open. So like you mentioned before, you can have everything from the beautiful Fisher Island down here in Miami to just the open sea, to just nature all around you, constantly changing, and it's just fantastic. And obviously the most desired time for a ceremony is sunset. So you just have those incredible pinks and purples and just beautiful colors.
Are there peak seasons? Are you finding that there is a peak season?
You know, I would say that it probably mimics the same as the regular wedding industry, where you have engagement season kind of around the holidays, around the first of the year, and so forth. And then you have kind of the summer, the fall tending to be, where more weddings tend to be taking place. But I mean, there's weddings all year round on yachts. So, there really is no peak in terms of pricing. Pricing is the same all year round. Some people are also concerned kind of about hurricanes and things like that.
Yes, we are in the hurricane season.
We are in hurricane season. And so, the agreements that you sign with when you're having an event like this protect the client for those such, events. Acts of God and things like that, where if, God forbid, something like that were to happen, accommodations would be made to either move your event or have something like that happen.
Out do you go at sea?
We actually don't go that far. So we stay because obviously we want to have a nice and stable dinner setting. We want to have a nice and stable dance floor. Right? So we stay what feels like you're out at sea, but you're actually just within the bay. And here in Miami, it's so open that you really just feel like you're out in the sea. Like whenever I go out on a boat, I'm always like, I'm king of the world, and my husband's laughing at me like, no, you're not. You're just in the little bay area. But it just feels that way, because it's just gorgeous. It's so gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. Yeah. Tell me, how big is your team?
Well, I have a phenomenal group. We are about 5 right now, steadily growing, and I mean, they are just such hard working, such heart.
Yes.
And I'm eternally grateful to them. And they're 5, but they do the work of 15.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And I'm sure they have no set hours, right?
Yeah, no. It's basically, when a client needs us, that's when we're working.
Are there certain types of clients that you would, after hearing what they have for their needs, you said, oh no?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes there are clients that may not have a realistic budget set. They may be kind of in love with the idea of having their event on a yacht, but they don't necessarily understand what that means.
Right.
And it's not to say that yachts are necessarily extremely expensive, because you can also have very expensive weddings at a hotel, at a park, and what have you. But there are certain fees that come along with a yacht. There's dockage, there's fuel, you have to pay the captain, the crew. And so I think sometimes people might lose track of that and think that for some reason, it might not meet their target budget because of that.
Being on the open water, one will have to steady themselves. I am now on a more intimate vessel where we can house a smaller group. Be my guest, make sure that they take care of every detail, not only from the planning and the settings, but also to the number of guests that you might have. I'm back with Vanessa. So Vanessa, tell me, what are the different packages that you offer?
So the beautiful thing about a lot of the yachts that I offer is that they just come in an all-in-one package.
Okay.
And then what Be My Guest does is just augment that. So let's take this vessel for instance. These beautiful flowers that you see on the tables, hydrangeas, roses, that's standard.
Okay.
That comes with your buffet and your bar menu and these white linens as
Okay.
well. So what we have done in conjunction with Tina Lina Creations is that we add your gold charger, we add a beautiful lantern, we add a beautiful rustic table number.
Okay.
So we add those different touches, and you can, pick and choose what you like
Right.
to go with your theme, and that's what we offer as a separate package. As well as we have ceremony arch decor.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, so we have this beautiful tropical motif as well as a more kind of rustic farm type
Yes.
of motif.
Yes.
And so because with the boat you have your wedding arch that comes as part of the package. However, it does not come decorated. So that's where Be My Guest comes in, and we will help you with that. So that's
And
also
so you
another package.
also cater to whatever color scheme.
That's right.
Okay, wonderful.
That's right. Yeah.
Another question people probably ask sometimes is, how safe are they?
Oh, these boats are very safe, probably safer than our homes. They have to undergo a very rigorous inspection at least once a year by the United States Coast Guard, where they have to meet multiple checklist items of safety, such as the crew and the captain certifications,
Right.
as well as life jackets, the number of life jackets. That's
Wonderful.
why these yachts all have a very specific capacity.
Yes.
It's not necessarily because you can't fit more bodies in the boat. It's because it's what's
Safety.
safest.
Right.
Exactly.
And we talk- And we talk about capacity. So how small can I go? From 2 to what's my number?
So, we can do 2 on a smaller kind of sport yacht,
Okay.
right? But something like this, you really want to try to get something around 40 to 50 on your smaller range, because some of these yachts do have spending minimum on
Okay.
certain Saturday nights, let's say, which
Okay.
are the hottest nights that
Yes.
usually, are the most popular. And this particular yacht can go up to 90 guests. seated for a buffet or a
So it's
plated
real
meal.
intimate, but not everyone crowding on each other.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
And then if you have a larger party, I also have other yachts in the fleet that can accommodate up to 400.
So walk me through the process. I give you a call and say I'm having this event, and then we discuss what my ideas are, and then you take it from there, right?
Exactly. So usually what I do is that I have you fill out a little survey for me because it helps keep everything organized and make sure that I'm following exactly what you need. And so the kinds of questions I ask are, do you need a DJ? Do you want a wedding cake? What do you want to see? Do you want to see Fisher Island? Do you want to see Star Island? Do you want to see, the Venice of the Americas down in Fort Lauderdale? So I ask those sorts of questions to really make sure that I'm choosing the right yacht for you. And then from there, exactly, just kind of getting your wedding vision or your event vision kind of locked down so that from that point forward, we're on the same page and we're working together to just make the event spectacular.
Wonderful. And I know that sometimes we may not capture all that we want on the day of the event, right? So those pictures that are just perfect. Do you also offer the opportunity where bride and groom can come in even before or after the event?
Exactly. So the majority of the yachts will allow the bride or the groom, however they want to, handle that timeline, because there's some bride and grooms that like to do a first look on the yacht, or the bride likes to be hidden. She likes to be with her girls or her mom. And both of these yachts actually offer a bridal suite. And so, you can get ready, you can have your girlfriends have a little bottle of champagne with you, and you can have that opportunity for up to about an hour and a half before departure.
Options, are those endless? Are they specific?
So that really depends on which yacht you are choosing. On a yacht like this, you pretty much have whatever you want. You have Caribbean flavors, seafood, Cuban, you name it, there's a lot of variety.
Wonderful. So if I wanted just finger snacks or I wanted a 5-course meal, then that's available too. It really depends on my budget, right?
Exactly. Yeah, your budget, your style, what your guests like, all of that.
Now that we're out at sea, I am seeing that the scenery is changing, and that's what really is the selling point, because you get to see so many different things and get that moment where, yes, I'm on the water.
Yep.
Yeah?
It's gorgeous. And Miami, you can't beat it. You have the beautiful city side, then you have the gorgeous Virginia Key, Key Biscayne. Anywhere we go, there's just something beautiful to look at and have as part of your pictures.
So if somebody is looking now and they're interested in finding out more about you, first of all, your website, your social media, tell us about those.
Absolutely. So I have a website, BeMyGuestInvite.com. There you can see all of the different yachts that we offer. I have a link to that survey that I was mentioning where we can get that process started for you right away. I'm also on social media on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at BeMyGuestInvite. And my email is BeMyGuestInvite@gmail.com.
And you operate 24/7, 365.
Basically.
And how long in advance do I need then? If I'm planning that event, do I need to get in touch with you?
The more time, the better. So if you know that you have a very specific date in mind, the sooner you contact me, the better, because as soon as I get that quote to you, I've already placed a hold on that date for you.
Right.
If you're flexible about your date, then it really doesn't matter, because then we can find something for you next month, in 2 months, whenever if you're more flexible.
Someone wanting to get into business, not having the idea of what exactly they want to do,
Yeah.
but they know they want to offer something unique.
Yeah.
What would you say to that person?
I mean, I think first and foremost, you have to think about what excites you, what brings you happiness. And for me,
Yes.
it is party planning, throwing a great party. I love throwing parties. So if I can help other people in that process, I'm all about it. So, you know, it may not necessarily start off as a unique idea, something that makes you happy, but you build on that. And you know, with that drive and motivation that you need in order to make it happen, that's where you'll kind of figure out your niche. But you just
Wonderful.
don't give up.
Never give up, right?
That's right.
Because it does get tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think those are the times where it's a test to determine, do you really want it, you know?
And this is a family business, right?
Yes, exactly.
I know you say you have a son that is 3, but I'm sure he's getting business ideas from mom and dad
Oh
already.
yeah, he wants to be a captain.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, it was such a pleasure meeting you.
Thank
you
you.
so much for showing us the insights of your business, Be My Guest Events at Sea. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So much fun right here with the crew and the team at Be My Guest Events at Sea. Vanessa really taught us and showed us the inside scoop of what it takes to be a true entrepreneur and to be in this unique business. This is Camille for South Florida TV on the 4Life TV network. And tell me, what's your story?